Hello people, this is Ryder here with a review of the Ultraman Blazar, Blazar Stone Series official binder. So yeah, in a weird turn of events, we got another binder. That wasn't a card binder. Because if you don't know, Decker actually got two binders released, to which from what I heard, they're apparently difficult to get for some reason. This apparently is in that same vein too. But yeah, this is the binder to hold, as the package says, up to 54 Blazar stones, which is pretty impressive for the most part. And what's even more impressive is the stone that is packed in with this. As you can see right here, we actually get another variant of these stones. I think it's called the John Ken stone, which is basically rock, paper, scissors, which I think is neat. So again, this is basically all the same, basically. Again, this is just kind of in the same packaging as the Decker Dimension Cards binders, or the Dimension Card binders. It's just that, luckily, this one's actually bigger. Alright, so here we have the binder opened and such. Obviously, here we have the Jocken stone just setting onto the side. And basically, if you recall from the Y metal files that we took a look at, it's basically that, but more bigger. As, I think technically this is taking off the basis, this is going off of the basis of Decker's Ultra Dimension binders, to which, you know, I guess for a cost efficient standpoint, they decided to make them plastic, as opposed to like cardboard, to which I guess I get. And they no longer have rings, as the pages are permanently attached and such, meaning that you cannot add any more pages because the pages are bind to the spine and such. But overall, talking about the binder itself, while it's really flimsy and such, I really like the design of it overall. We have various kaijus from the series up to this point. I think it's up to the first 12 episodes. I believe so, because obviously the whole, or maybe the episode when, no, I don't remember. 16 at best. But I want to say it's obviously up to the point of Garamon, because obviously the Chosenite sword is very prominent and such. And I really like it overall. Obviously, Blazar and Garon are at the front and center. No, yeah, it's definitely episode 16 or so, because this guy's prominent. Obviously we have the Blazar stones for Blazar, Niji Kagachi, and Garamon. The Ultraman Blazar Stone Series official binder. And then the spine itself, which we have this nice lens flare. And then we have the Blazar Stone and the Earth Garon Blazar Stone. And the back of it is really neat, because as opposed to, I think, what Decker did with its Dimension Card binders, where they mimicked that Dimension Card, this one mimics the Blazar stones, although I think they're more accurately portrayed like if they're Ultra Metals, because technically the Ultra Metals, the Blazar stones only, they shouldn't have the shoulder, but these do. So these are more resembling of the Ultra Metals and such. So we have Zero, Ginga, Victory, X, Orb, Jeed, Rosal Blue, Grigio, Taiga, Titus Fuma, Zet, Trigger, Decker, and Blazar. And yeah, so if we open this up, obviously we're just greeted with white. Obviously, with it being plastic, it shouldn't get wet. And then we have our 3 plastic pages that in total make 6 and such. So the way, I think this is how, again, this is how the Y metal files worked. Basically, again, it's 3 pages of, it's 3 pages of 9 pockets on each side, to which, obviously, because it's 3 pages down, the left side has the pockets up, or the first 3 pages had the pockets up, the latter 3 pages had the pockets down. I don't get that logic. I would have preferred if they were consistent, but we have to follow through what this has. So that means for the top half right here, it's actually accessible to get through the pockets, but this latter half, you have to flip it over and do it on the other side, which again, I find nonsensical and such. Anyways, we will start filling up our binder right here and such, because the way, just like Y metals or the yokai metals, you want to simply lift up the bottom of the pocket and then lift the top over like so. So here is this new generation stone. And then just flip it over like so. And there you have the new generation stone and such. I'll say right away, the center, like obviously the ones on the edges are a lot more easier to get in than like the edge, the ones that are binded, because obviously you don't have as much clearance. So with the DX Blazar stone, I obviously have trouble getting through because of the bind being in the way and such. Luckily, I got it in. Obviously, you can see there's already a severe amount of creases just due to me already using this and such, which is obviously the unfortunate thing of this being plastic and such. It's kind of, you can't do much about it and such. But as you can see here, the way I have this organized is by release of deluxe sets and such. So as you can see here, I have, even though this is technically not in the right place, but you know, once you get the groove of it, it should be pretty simple of doing. So here we have the first page filled out. Now I'm gonna actually skip this one just because I don't like dealing with that side first. It's again such a nuisance, but on camera it's coming out a lot better and such. And obviously it just, luckily you have the back here to align your stones and such. It's kind of a nuisance getting this together and such. I'm trying to be as quick as possible. I apologize. Because, you know, for days I had to keep these out. But, like, I think because of the thickness of these, like, is kind of an issue, actually. Just due to the Blazar stones are I think they're kind of a bit thick for this style of binder, that they kind of want to not, they don't want to sit in there properly and such. So again, here we have part of set 2, part of set 4, and here we have set 3 as a whole. And yeah, obviously that's, we'll get to that. Again, here we go with, so I think with this then, we should be able to actually fill out the rest of this of the remaining stones we've covered, which is good and such, because I'm kind of glad they actually accounted for at least just the mainline stones they released and such. Because I really do like how it feels when you have it filled. So here we go with the first 3 pages. As you can see, it quickly thickens up. Obviously, I'm not too big on hearing that at all. I just don't. And then the Jotkin stone I will throw down here, even because this doesn't have a pocket technically. And again, they want you to flip it over to the other side, but I personally don't, just because I don't think... It's like, I rather go with how this was originally formed, and if it's supposed to be this way, because like, if you put it in backwards, you're going to make it more difficult for yourself. And plus, like, it's not consistent, because then, why would you have it front-facing but clear, like, but flat, and not have it for this side? So, I rather have that consistency and such. Obviously, we are holding this out for the next not two, but the video after the next one. The next 2 videos after the next one and such. Because then here, I throw in the Tiga power type right there. And then just simply throw in the EX. The 55th anniversary set in here. But obviously, because of how this works, this side's a lot more slippery, so you have to fight it, which is kind of annoying. So... yeah, you just have to fight with the plastic. And then I think this side is... like, obviously you have to be careful to not actually rip the inserts, because that's obviously bad. But yeah, so here we are with a... now obviously it's a lot more heftier now, but here is a mostly filled, almost filled Blazar binder, stone binder, and it's really cool overall just to have all of these in one place, because like, it's just really convenient and such. And obviously, it makes me happy that at least all the ones they've, like, all the ones they've put out are can actually go in one place and such. But before we get more into that, let's take a look at the Jotkin stone, to which, as you can see from here, it's just Blazar raising his fist up in the air and such, and it's in the gold chrome hollow foil. It's not technically hollow foil, but it has that sheen to it. And the cover is actually the pearlescent purple, which is neat. And then the track right there. This one's B223, and I don't know what the 013 is supposed to be, but it's there. And I might as well take this one out too, just to have a comparison, just because I forgot to do that. This one's actually a new color. I don't know why, but they molded a new color, because if you can look at here, because this one we know is the one that got carried over from the new generation stone, but this one's a lighter blue, which is pretty interesting. But nevertheless, these are pretty close in the track system, so let's use this in the Blazar brace. Here we are with the Blazar brace. So it starts off the same as this one, however. So as you can see there, it portrayed No, it it displayed scissors, and we press it again. It displayed paper and such. And then hopefully, if we press it one more time, it did scissors again. Scissors. There's rock and such. I don't. There's kind of a delay with this one for some reason, which is kind of weird. But the whole gimmick of this is that you're supposed to. Let's do this. You're supposed to play rock paper scissors with the Blazar brace. So you press it. You play rock paper scissors with this and such, which I think is pretty fun. And then you just. It's just fun. Nope. I think he already won. I think it's 2-2. Okay, yeah, I won. So it's a pretty fun stone to mess around with. I think we've had a rock paper scissors thing before. But this is, I think, the first one that actually got released and such. I don't know. I never thought of actually playing with it. I just thought it was like a display thing. But when Bandai Mania pointed out you can actually play with it, I'm like, wow, why didn't I think of that? But anyways, before the camera dies, because it's been on low battery since. Okay, I don't think this will stand anymore because of the fact it has the stones in it, so yeah. Great. Overall, I think this is a really solid item overall and such. I was very happy to hear that we were getting like a holder type of item because just because, you know, with the amount of Blazar stones that were getting released, it was just like I was kind of hoping that we were getting like a holder, like a storage device thing for the stones, just because it's like, you know, just to actually put them somewhere and not clutter my Sentai gearbox and such. So when they actually did announce the binder, I was enjoyed. Just because like it's always some type of official storage device and such. Just because, you know, it's more convenient, and obviously we get, you know, they always try to give out another item and such. And I'm just happy that we got one of these stones out there and such, just because I was kind of getting infuriated that they weren't bothering pushing them out. And I think the Jotkin stone is a lot of fun. I would love for them to put out Lucky Color, but obviously we know they're not. So it's just unfortunate and such. And again, I'm just overjoyed that, like, if you store in all the metals, if you store in all the stones from like all the from the majority of the individual releases or of the like DX sets, you will be able to hold them and such. So I think technically I have to exclude 4, maybe. Like, I'm actually able to like fill up to this page and such at least. I just need to fill out this page and such. To which, again, I think I can fill up to 5 if I actually bother. No, I think you can actually fill this entire thing out and such. I think you're going to be off 1 stone then, technically. Because I think all but 1 stone will fit and such. Obviously, I'm not touching upon which stones those are. But, yeah, this thing won't stand and such. So, I just like being able to keep my stones in somewhere and such. Yes, it's not convenient to put them in here because, like, again, you have to go through the effort of getting them out. You have to align them and such. And, like, you have to put them back in. So it's just more of, like, I guess the sad thing is that, like, basically, what you kind of want to do is just to put your stones in here and basically leave them alone. If you don't want to go through the hassle of having to take them in and out and like wear out the plastic pages and such. That's the unfortunate case of this, but like other than that, like this is like pretty neat overall. Now, obviously, because I don't know why, it's a binder to which I don't. Apparently, these are harder to track down in the aftermarket if you don't get them when they are initially released, because HOJ was selling this for like $15 to $18, I believe. And so like obviously like Zarkin managed to get one and such when it was released and such. But I think in the aftermarket now it's just difficult and such. It fell while I changed the battery. But like, because from what I heard with the Decker ones, those are incredibly like difficult to come by and like expensive for some reason. I understand, I guess from Decker, I get because they're cards, and obviously people want to buy the cards for that one. But I do not get it with this. Like, I think this is definitely less desirable of a binder to get than like the Ultra Dimension card binders and such. Because at least with the Ultra Dimension cards, you can like double it and like hold double the amount they want you to hold them. But this, you can't, you don't have that luxury. You're like permanently stuck with what they have and such. And like, obviously, this is not going to fill. This is primarily just for your DX, like, stones and such. Not for like Gashapon a candy toy. I do not suggest for you to like store those stones into here if you're collecting all the stones, just because it's like you unfortunately are gonna have to get another like storage, like just a random mundane storage device to actually hold all your stones and such, which is just unfortunate, because I think with Blazar it would have been cool if they did like a case or like a chest and such, just to throw them in and such, because not even the Ultra Metals had like a reliable storage device. Again, it's like, well, I mean, Rube didn't either, but it's just like the case, or like yeah, I think they called it a case, even though it's just a platform and such. At least that platform, as much as it doesn't do much, it at least holds stones, or at least holds crystals. Like, just put on, like, even though with that one you're restricted to what's actually canon within the show, and then on the sides you basically have to put down whatever they show on the box, and then you just shove it in a drawer and you're done. So I guess I guess technically this binder, I guess binders are technically the only way to actually be able to fulfill actually holding almost everything and not having to follow a show canon and such, like with the Ultra Metal, or the Zet holder. No, I think it's just called the Ultra Metal holder. Like that thing, you can't just put in whatever, because you have to put in whatever is in the show, because that just makes more sense than to like, oh, I'm gonna put all of my extra like Nexus Junus Blue medals in this thing. Is like, no, that's not how the show had it.